Hello and welcome. Join me as we take a walk through from Legoland Dubai and take a look at the incredible models that are on display in their Miniland section. Now, this is not going to be a full voiceover for a few different reasons. One of those reasons is because the music that was playing was like a rave. So normally what I do is I do a voiceover, keep the volume nice and high so you can hear all the animatronics and all those different bits and pieces working. Impossible. They have really big random speakers dotted around and they don't play the Legoland normal music. They play their own radio for some reason and it is just blaring. And the other big difference is obviously indoor, so it will echo around the room. But apart from that, what an incredible experience this was seeing all of this again. You can see you've got all of the amazing lights. You can see all the other little bits and pieces that are in there. Now, the main reason why they have their own speaker system is because they do a indoor light show, and that light show is linked up to the speaker system. So when the music is playing, they turn all the lights off, and then they have all the lights and everything pulsing to it, and it is quite cool to see. But again, it is all copywritten music, and I can't have that playing on in the background. So you're going to have me for a minute or two as we start to carry on walking around this amazing Miniland. And if I get carried away, you might have me for the whole thing. If not, I'll just add in my own bits and pieces. But you can see that you have got the beach and everything at the front, and you've got all this amazing bits and pieces with regards to the water. And then as we carry on panning around, you have got then obviously all the little boats, and then we pan up to this huge building. So the big difference, again, apart from this being indoors, is that the focus point is the models rather than the actual. I'll say that again. The actual focus point is the buildings rather than the smaller models. So you can see it's all based on huge skyscrapers, and you can see you've got all the different lighting and everything like that, which does look very, very impressive indeed. But with regards to actually vehicles and sort of their characters walking around, you don't tend to have that many of them. But you can see that it is an enclosed roof compared to the one that we've already just seen over in Malaysia, where Malaysia was incredible, but it was still outdoor, but they had everything sheltered. So you sort of had the best of both worlds, whereas this, it is just purely indoor. But on the other side, or on the flip side of that, it is very heavily air conditioned. And with the temperature that it is over there at the moment, into the 40s, I do believe, it is definitely needed, because obviously the colouring of the brick and more than likely the damage that it will cause to a lot of these bricks as well. So if you have been to this Legoland park before, what do you think? What do you think of the size of it? Because this is linked right next door to the water park as well, which is a very impressive looking thing. I did the buy basically for a single day. I managed to just come in here, get it all filmed, and then I spent the night at the hotel, and then I moved on to the next phase of the trip, so to speak, which was very, very impressive as well. But we did manage in this trip to get to quite a lot of the different Legoland parks. We did manage to get to Legoland Malaysia, we did Windsor on the way up, and we did also Legoland Dubai as well. So we've got 3 comparison videos already for 2024 with regards to the Miniland, and closer to Christmas I will be trying to get to Germany and Billund as well. So we'll try and hit at least 5 Legoland parks this year, because obviously the name of this channel is Brick Life Travels, because I do like to travel and I like to share all the Legoland parks with you. Now, I have the music turned all the way, sorry, the volume turned all the way down, and I can still hear the actual songs that have been played in the background. So I'm going to have to completely mute any other noise. So I do apologise if you are just bored of my voice by now, because it is quite nice to hear all the horns beeping and then like the drilling, for example, where you can hear and see those lights flickering. There would be noise of the animatronics working, but I can't share that with you because of the copywritten stuff. That is why I would imagine a lot of other people that do a walkthrough of Dubai have their own music as well. It's a little bit of a shame. I understand them playing their music when you have all the lights and everything going, but it would also be quite nice just to listen to everything as you walk around, because they don't play music around any of the other Minilands because there's no speakers around there, but the music is very, very loud. But again, it is what it is. But the one thing that is extremely impressive is the size of these buildings. So you can see you've got the huge skyscrapers. You've got all the LED lights on the inside of these things as well. They do look very, very smart. And you can see the road strip as well. Now, another big difference of that is that obviously none of that is Lego built at all. And you can see it actually looks like it's got quite a different material as the road surface compared to the bits and pieces that we've seen outside. Like I said, the focus point of this is just the huge skyscrapers rather than the actual buildings themselves. And the airport is very impressive. It is on a huge scale. This is probably the flagship model because it is so tall. And then you have the water fountains out the front of it as well, which does look very, very impressive indeed. So you can get some really nice photos of all of them and just sort of catch all the different bits and pieces that are going on. And then you've got, again, with regards to water, there's plenty of it, even though it's still on the inside, because you have got all the information like you would normally do. So you've got the Dubai Marina, and you can see there it's built from 156,000 Lego bricks just for this display that we are looking at now. You've got all the nice lights and everything going around. The big eye is working. It is pretty impressive that you could see all the lights and everything on the outside of all the buildings, and obviously on the inside of the buildings as well, just because it is that little bit darker. And then, like I said, they do turn the lights down for their sort of light show, but I don't think they had a light show on the day that I was there. So it is what it is with regards to trying to see different bits and pieces, because it's quite cool to see it all lit up, and I have filmed that years ago. So that is available in a Legoland Dubai playlist. So if you want to actually see the light show, I've had to put my own music underneath there, but that is available somewhere on this channel as well, because you can see all the lights are all dotted all over the place. Then you've got the big spotlights that turn on when they have a look at the buildings. You can see you've got the street lamps and everything on that side, and then you've got sort of the wonders of the world, I think, on this side, with just more huge scaled models. Now, we're already halfway through the video, so I might as well just carry on. So with regards to the bits and pieces around the outside, you can see the kingdom. Now, that area is actually the kingdom park. So you've got the big castle on that way. The internal part of this Miniland is just a central hub. So you have to walk through the Miniland section to get to a different section of the park, and each section of that park is obviously themed to the area. But of course, you can go to the first section where all the water is, where you've got Atlantis and all of that kind of thing. And the time that I was here this time, it is actually connected to the water park, where you can then go through from Atlantis. So you could come in through Legoland, have a look at the Miniland section, and then cut off into the actual water park if you wanted to. And then if you were sick and tired of going down the slide, you can then come back out and dry out in the sunshine, walk around, because obviously everything else is just outside, but you do have the shade of different bits and pieces as well. And then you can go back into the water park. So it is quite a cool thing that the water park is completely standalone. That is something that we don't have over in Germany. We don't have over in Billund or in Windsor, just because the weather is so dreadful. They do have their own splash pads, so they do have something for the much smaller ones, but they don't have sort of sliding adventures for the family. Now, with regards to Billund, they do have a huge indoor area in a different location called Lelandia, which is very, very similar to the water parks that are located elsewhere under the Legoland banner, but they are a little bit more grown up, because they do have much quicker slides as well. Now, I have been to the water park in Dubai, and it is very impressive. There's lots of individual rides that you can do, and then you've got the group ones as well, and it is a good bit of fun to do. So if you are thinking of coming over to Dubai and staying at the Motion Gate Dubai Parks and Resorts, it is a bit of a tongue twister. You've got the Legoland Park, you've got the water park, and then you've got Motion Gate as well. And there's a brand new Real Madrid world, I do believe, that has opened, which is taken over from Bollywood. Now, without giving too many spoilers, if you head over to the Global Life Travels channel, you'll be able to see exactly what I'm about to talk about. But they've changed the entrance to Bollywood, so you can actually get into what used to be the old Bollywood before you hit the new entrance to the Real Madrid section. So it is very, very interesting, because they've basically kept all the rides the same by the looks of it, but they have just rethemed them. So everything's in the same location, because they did put in a lot of rides in 2021, I do believe, and then it sort of went under. Because when I went last, I was the only person walking around the theme park. It was very weary and weird, but now I will be doing a comparison video of what it used to be like to what it is like, but that will be on the Global Life Travels channel. So I've got a secondary channel, so anything that is non-Lego related, that is all involving Legoland trips, will now be uploaded onto a separate video, in separate channel with separate videos, including all the stuff from Disney and Universal as well. But back to this incredible Miniland, you can see the scale of some of these buildings are next level, but they've taken that away. That was a bit of a shame. They've taken the crawl space away. Now, if you want to see that, you're going to have to hunt that down on an older video. Why they've taken that away, I'm not too sure, because you used to just be able to crawl underneath there, and then underneath this huge area, there was lots of other smaller builds that you could explore. So either somebody slipped and banged their head, or they've got stuck in there and then they've thought, right, we're not playing that game anymore, because they've also done the same thing at Legoland Windsor in their mythical section, where you used to be able to have a little crawl space where it used to go underneath things for the bigger ones and the smaller ones alike, and now they've just blocked it off with bits of wood. So I don't know if it's now just company policy. I guess it makes sense for health and safety, but we have gone completely mad with that kind of thing, especially when I know what models are there. And they've also taken it away from the one a little bit further up as well, which was the Taj Mahal. And now that was incredible, because you used to be able to crawl through the little crawl space and then stand up and take loads of amazing photos on the inside of it. But now that is also barriered over, because you can see that in the distance by the stairs. Now, as we're coming back into the middle, you can see, again, looking into the water, you've got all the different boats. Then you've got all the different characters and everything around the outside. And then again, this is the other side of the marina with the Ferris wheel. So if you've got to be patient and walk around this both ways, because you can see just how pretty this looks from the back end as it does from the front. So you've got to do a full loop of everything. You can't just walk past the front of it, because the one side is completely different to the other. So it does look very, very impressive indeed. And you can see the sound stage just there with regards to all the lights and everything like that. Now, as we carry on, we're moving on to the next section. Now, through this sort of Miniland section, you can see you've got the Lego City section on the back. So obviously that is where all the Lego City bits and pieces are. And of course, there's going to be a video available from all of those different sections. And there'll be a comparison video of different bits and pieces that have changed with regards to new shops, the rides that were open, the rides that were closed. There's not a huge amount changed at the one in Dubai. But like I said, I think the water park is the go-to place, especially with the temperature. Now, this is the Taj Mahal. That is the crawl space through there. You used to be able to stand up into that bit there, and now you can't no longer. So if anybody knows the reason why, let me know, because I always find it fascinating why they change their mind on things. It might very much be a case of that bit was just under construction, and it now might be open again. But I highly doubt it. I would imagine something has changed. But the architecture with regards to the different bits and pieces on the outside of this building is just next level. This thing is enormous. It is something that you need to see in person. It is utterly outrageous how big this thing is, and the water looks fantastic, the buildings look beautiful, and then you've got all the sort of the cobblestone and everything around the outside. So they've actually used Lego with non-Lego elements on there. Again, you've got all the information written out the front, and then it just looks so pretty with all the lights from this side. Then you've got all the lights that are kicking into the actual building as well. So it does look very, very good. And again, if you were to stop and read this for the Grand Mosque, it'll give you all the facts and information with regards to just how long it took, and of course the brick count as well. But we are now slowly starting to run out of time. So there's me thinking I was just going to talk for 2 minutes and save my throat, and I've ended up waffling on for the whole nearly enough 15 minutes. So guys, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let me know what you think of this Miniland compared to your local one. Do you prefer the much larger scale models and then not have much else to look at because your eye goes to these huge buildings? Or do you prefer a mix of dioramas with regards to lots of cars and characters and that kind of thing? So it's basically telling a story, and obviously they've got amazing trains that shoot around as well. Or do you like a mix of both? Do you prefer just the one, or do you just want big buildings? Is this the kind of thing that you really like to see? Because don't forget, this is just solely based on Dubai and potentially bits and pieces from Abu Dhabi as well. And obviously, with regards to the one in Miniland, there's all local based. Windsor still seems to be the only one where it's got huge pockets of everywhere around the world, which why they've done that, I don't know. I don't know if it was just their decision to do that when they first opened it up. I'm glad they have, because you can go and see all the different places around the world. But it just seems to be when you go to the others around the world, it's just completely different, which again is the whole point of going to these mini lands is to see something different. But it does seem to be that Legoland wins it. It's almost like the central hub because it does have something for every single country, I think, especially every country that has a Legoland anyway, which is always really impressive to see. And again, looking at these massive, massive buildings with regards to the train stations and things like that, and if everything was working absolutely fine, again, you can see all the lights and everything down at the bottom, and you can see the airplane in the distance. That is the massive airport that you get meted and greeted with when you first come in, and that is the thing to my right hand side just now. And then you've got this massive building again in front of us, and again they've used the rock face very, very cleverly with regards to all of the other castles and things like that. So if you are into any of this kind of thing, again, there's a different exit to a different section of the park as well. If you're into any of these, you might be able to give yourself some ideas with regards to how you can layer bits and pieces up, how you can create different scaled cities to match your own Lego display that you've got. And it is just an impressive thing to sort of soak in and see. But guys, that is it. And I am done. I've officially waffled on for the whole video. So I'm sorry to spoil the amazing music selection that I had ready for this Miniland playlist. I'm sure I will use that music somewhere else. But guys, one more time, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care and I'll catch you in the next one. Ta-da.